Hey everyone, welcome back. We're diving deep today
Mm-hmm.
into digital transformation,
Okay.
but specifically in energy asset management
Yeah.
and how to achieve operational excellence.
Right.
This industry is really going through a huge shift,
It is.
and we've got a ton of sources here to kind of unpack all of that.
Absolutely.
So
I see.
what's interesting is that this isn't just about adopting like new fancy tech.
Mm-hmm.
It's about using these digital tools to fundamentally change how energy companies operate.
Yeah. And especially with all of the pressures that they're facing today.
Exactly. And the sources that we have
Yeah.
really paint a clear picture of all of that.
Yeah.
The demand for energy is only growing, but at the same time,
Right.
regulations are increasing.
Yeah.
The need for sustainable practices.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this balancing act that traditional asset management just wasn't prepared for.
Yeah. You've got these energy companies that are managing these huge operations that are spread out geographically. And if they're relying on outdated systems and manual processes,
Yeah.
it's just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, it's like running a marathon with
Yeah.
your shoelaces tied together.
Exactly.
So how do companies break free of those limitations?
Yeah.
And our sources point to 3 key pillars for achieving operational excellence in this landscape.
Yeah. These pillars are all interconnected.
Okay.
You start with strategic excellence,
Uh-huh.
which is really just making sure that your day-to-day operations are aligning with those long-term goals.
Yeah.
It's like whether we're talking about asset reliability, regulatory compliance, cost optimization, all of it has to work together.
Okay, so then there's tactical efficiency,
Right.
which is where I imagine the tools come in.
Exactly. You need those sophisticated systems to handle things like resource allocation, maintenance planning, risk management, performance monitoring.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about having the brains of the operation running smoothly.
So that brings us to operational performance,
Hmm.
which is where the rubber meets the road out in the field where the work is being done.
Absolutely. And, we're talking about empowering those field teams with real-time information and those mobile solutions,
Yeah?
having that streamlined work order management, safety compliance, data accuracy. It's all crucial.
So we've got the framework,
Uh-huh.
but how do we actually put this into practice? One of the sources from a company called Sigga
Mm-hmm.
really stood out
Yeah.
to me. They specialize in solutions that integrate with SAP systems,
Right.
which is something that's widely used in the energy sector.
Exactly.
And one that really caught my eye
Uh-huh.
is Sigga EAM Empower.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's a maintenance application built on their no-code platform
Yeah.
to make field operations more efficient and improve maintenance workflows.
Yeah, it's great.
And they also have Sigga planning and scheduling,
Yes.
which I imagine, as the name suggests, is about optimizing those resources
It is.
and making sure that things are running smoothly.
Yeah. It's really about having a solution that's tailored to this specific sector
Right.
rather than, trying to force a square peg in a round hole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's get down to the details.
Okay.
What kind of results
Yeah.
can companies actually expect to see
Yeah. What do we call?
from using these solutions? And the sources actually break this down
Okay.
by operational area,
Mhm.
starting with field operations.
Yeah. Think about all of that wasted time and effort that
Okay.
comes from inefficient field operations.
Mhm.
So Sigga solutions can help with things like, optimized route planning to
Mhm.
reduce that unnecessary travel, faster work order creation,
Yeah.
improve self-scheduling for technicians,
Yeah.
and even more accurate activity recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds like this isn't just about making things easier
No, it's not.
for the technicians. This is about impacting that bottom line.
Absolutely. That brings us to resource management.
Right.
Right. These solutions can streamline warehouse routines, reduce the time spent on pulling reports,
Right.
and make requisition processing a lot faster.
I was actually reading about one company that was able to prioritize tasks
Oh, wow.
much more effectively using geolocation data,
Yeah.
and their response times improved dramatically.
That's a great example
Yeah.
of how the right technology leads to those tangible improvements.
Um,
And then there's also the impact on quality and performance.
Which I imagine is where a lot of companies are feeling the pressure.
Yeah, they are. And, this is where solutions like Sigga's can really shine.
Okay.
We're talking about improving quality controlled processes, reducing recurring equipment failures, getting more accurate inspection results,
Yeah.
and keeping a more effective maintenance history.
So it's not just about preventing the problems, it's about learning from them. Exactly. And constantly improving.
Yeah,
It sounds incredibly promising,
it is.
but implementing a digital transformation of this scale isn't exactly a walk in the park.
It's definitely a journey, and
Right.
it has to be approached strategically.
So what does a successful implementation actually look like?
Well,
What are the steps involved?
it all starts with a thorough assessment
Uh-huh.
of your current state.
Yeah.
Like, where are your pain points? What are those goals for digital transformation?
Mm-hmm.
What does your existing infrastructure even look like?
Mm-hmm.
You need to have a clear understanding of your starting point
Oh, yeah.
before you can actually map out the journey.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like taking stock of your supplies before you embark on a major construction project. You need to know what you're working with.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And once you have that clear picture,
Yeah.
then what's next?
Then comes the planning phase. You define the specific objectives.
Wow.
You determine the scope of the implementation.
Okay.
You set a realistic timeline.
Right.
This is where having a partner like Sigga can be really valuable.
Mm-hmm.
They have the experience guiding energy companies through this process. Yeah.
And can help ensure that everything aligns with your unique needs and goals.
Yeah. It's like having an experienced Sherpa
Yes.
guiding you as you're climbing Mount Everest.
Exactly.
You might be able to do it on your own,
Right.
but having that expertise by your side increases your chances of success.
For sure. And then, of course, comes the actual implementation of those solutions that you've chosen.
Right.
This involves configuring the system to your specifications,
Mm-hmm.
integrating it seamlessly with your existing SAP environment,
Yeah.
and then providing comprehensive training to your users so they can hit the ground running.
Yeah. I imagine that training piece is crucial.
It is, because even the most user-friendly technology
Right.
can be intimidating
Yeah.
if people aren't properly prepared.
Yeah, for sure.
So Sigga recognizes this
Mm-hmm.
and offers that ongoing support and guidance
Okay.
throughout that entire implementation process.
So they're really invested in making sure that you succeed.
Absolutely they are.
But it doesn't end there, right?
Our sources really emphasize this idea of continuous improvement.
Yes.
This isn't a set it and forget it.
Yeah,
not at all. Digital transformation is an ongoing process.
Yeah.
You need to constantly monitor your progress, assess your performance, and make adjustments as needed.
So it's like tending a garden.
It is.
You can't just plant the seeds and walk away.
Right.
You've got to water them, fertilize them, weed them regularly to make sure that everything is flourishing.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And just like a gardener uses tools
Mm-hmm.
to help cultivate their garden,
Right.
energy companies can leverage data analytics
Okay.
to cultivate operational excellence.
Yeah.
So by collecting and analyzing data from their operations, they can pinpoint areas for improvement,
Mm-hmm.
make data-driven decisions,
Right.
and continuously refine their processes.
So data is really the fuel that powers that engine of improvement.
It is.
But we can't forget about the human element.
No, we can't. Our sources highlight the importance of user adoption and change management.
Right, because
Yeah.
you can have the best technology in the world,
Right.
but if your people aren't on board, it's not going to make a difference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do you get people on board with this?
Well, it starts with clear communication.
Okay.
You need to articulate the benefits of digital transformation to your employees,
Yeah?
address their concerns,
Uh-huh.
and then provide them with the training and support they need to feel comfortable and confident in this new environment.
Yeah. So it's about fostering a culture of innovation and continuous learning,
It is.
where employees feel empowered to experiment,
Yeah.
to share ideas,
Right.
and to actively contribute to that transformation journey.
Exactly. And when you have a workforce that's engaged and excited about digital transformation,
Yeah.
the possibilities are endless.
Our sources go into some real-world examples of energy companies that have successfully done this.
They do.
What are some of the common threads
Yeah.
that weave through those success stories?
Well, one thing that stands out is the importance of a holistic approach.
Mm-hmm.
It's not enough to just implement a new software solution and call it a day. You have to consider those ripple effects across your entire organization.
Yeah.
How is this going to impact your people, your processes, your culture?
Yeah.
It's about transforming the entire ecosystem, not just one isolated part of it.
So it's like a game of chess.
Yeah.
You have to think several moves ahead
Exactly.
and anticipate how each move will affect the entire board.
Right. And another recurring theme is that crucial role of leadership buy-in and commitment. Digital transformation requires a significant investment of time, resources, and effort,
For sure.
and it needs to be championed from the top down.
Okay.
Leaders need to be vocal advocates, setting the vision, clearly communicating the strategy,
Mm-hmm.
and providing those necessary resources to bring it to life.
Yeah, it's like a captain steering a ship through uncharted waters.
Yes.
The crew needs to trust that the captain knows what they're doing and that
Right.
they're all working together towards that common destination.
Absolutely. And finally, successful transformations often share a remarkable ability to adapt and be agile.
Okay.
The energy landscape is constantly shifting.
Right.
So companies need to be nimble and adjust their course as needed.
It's about embracing change, learning from setbacks,
Yes.
and constantly seeking ways to improve.
Exactly.
This is really fascinating stuff.
It is.
We've covered the key steps involved in a successful digital transformation, from that initial assessment and planning phase to the actual implementation and that ongoing pursuit of continuous improvement.
Right.
And we've seen how solutions like Sigga EAM and Power and Sigga planning and scheduling are helping these companies
They are.
optimize their operations and reach a new level of excellence.
Absolutely.
But as we've been saying, this energy landscape is constantly evolving.
It is.
So what does the future hold for this industry? How can companies prepare for the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead?
That's a great question, and one that deserves a deeper dive.
So we talked about the what and the how
Uh-huh.
of digital transformation and energy asset management.
Right.
But what about the what's next?
Okay.
What trends are shaping the future of this industry?
Yeah.
And what should energy leaders be preparing for?
Yeah. Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And I think one of the biggest trends that we're seeing is this increasing emphasis on sustainability.
Okay.
As the world is grappling with climate change, there's more and more pressure on these energy companies to reduce their environmental footprint
Right.
and explore those cleaner sources of energy.
So it's like the whole industry is being asked to reinvent itself.
It is.
Not just like tweak things here and there,
Right.
but really rethink how energy is produced and consumed.
Yeah, and this push for sustainability is happening alongside this continued rise of digitalization. We talked about how these digital tools are changing asset management,
Right.
but it goes so far beyond.
Yeah.
It's impacting every stage
Wow.
of the energy value chain.
From like exploration and production
Yes,
all the way to distribution and how they interact with their customers.
absolutely.
So it sounds like data is becoming like incredibly valuable.
It's essential. Companies are using data analytics, artificial intelligence, machine learning
Wow.
to make smarter decisions, optimize their operations,
Yeah.
and even create brand new business models.
I mean, this is a lot.
It is.
So all this innovation must come with some challenges too.
Of course, one of the biggest hurdles is the need for skilled workers who can navigate this increasingly complex technological landscape.
Makes sense.
The energy sector needs more data scientists, cybersecurity experts, software engineers. But there's a real talent gap that companies are struggling to fill.
So it's not just about buying that new technology.
Yeah.
It's about having the right people who know how to use it. I imagine there's challenges
Yes.
when it comes to like regulations.
There are rules, and regulations are having a hard time
Yeah.
keeping pace with the rapid rate of innovation
Right, yeah.
in this sector.
It's like trying to hit a moving target.
It is. It creates uncertainty for businesses
Right.
and could potentially even stifle innovation.
But amid all these challenges,
Yeah.
there's got to be some incredible opportunities.
Oh, there are tons of opportunities. The companies that can really embrace that digital transformation, invest in their workforce, and successfully navigate this evolving regulatory landscape. Those are going to be the ones that thrive in this new energy era.
So for our listeners today,
Yeah.
what's the big takeaway? What should they be thinking about
Yeah.
as they're going through their own digital transformation?
I think the most important thing is to start with a very clear vision
Okay.
of where you want to go as a company.
Mm-hmm.
What are your goals?
Yeah.
What challenges are you facing? What opportunities are you trying to seize?
Right.
It's about making sure that your digital strategy aligns with your overall business objectives
So having a roadmap.
to guide you.
And once you have that vision, you need to be bold and decisive.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to experiment,
Yeah.
to fail fast, and to learn from mistakes.
Yeah. This energy industry is in the midst of a huge transformation.
It is.
And it's the companies that are willing to adapt
Yes,
that will write the next chapter.
I agree.
So we've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
from the current state of the energy sector
Mhm.
to that potential of digital transformation.
And the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.
Right.
Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Well, I think it's important to remember that the future of energy is being shaped right now, and it's up to all of us to embrace the possibilities, navigate the complexities, and work together to build a more sustainable, a resilient, and innovative energy future.
Couldn't agree more. And for those of you who want to learn more about the digital solutions that are driving this transformation, be sure to check out Sigga.com.
Good resource.
They're doing some amazing work in this space.
Yes, they are.
And their website is a great resource for more information.
And as always, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the topics that matter most.
That's a wrap for this deep dive.
Great episode.
We'll be back next time with a new topic and a new stack of sources.
Sounds good.
Until again, stay curious.